Under the harsh sun of Tanzania, where golden grasslands and thorny brush stretch all the way to the horizon, life can seem almost impossible. Yet in this unforgiving landscape, the Hadzabe people continue to live a hunter-gatherer lifestyle that has endured for thousands of years. They are considered one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer communities on Earth, and I had the opportunity to travel alongside them and experience their traditional way of life firsthand. There are no modern cities, no machines, and no advanced technology. Everything they need comes directly from nature: water sources, wild plants, animal tracks, and survival knowledge passed down through countless generations. They simply live by a different rhythm, one that has sustained their community for thousands of years. My day began before sunrise. In the dim light of dawn, the Hadzabe men quietly prepared for a new journey and set out across the vast savanna. They moved with remarkable calm, paying close attention to every sign nature left along the way. There was no rushing and no impatience. They waited patiently for the right opportunity, because that is the essence of survival here. As the sun climbed higher, the group discovered large tracks pressed deep into the dry ground near a dense patch of brush. Based on the hunters' experience, the tracks were fresh and belonged to a pride of male lions moving through the area. The atmosphere immediately became tense. For the Hadzabe, tracking one of Africa's most formidable predators is far more than a simple search. It is a test of skill, focus, and the ability to read the natural world. The group moved carefully, maintaining a safe distance while making sure not to lose the trail. The tracks led them across tall grass, thick thorny vegetation, and well-worn animal paths. Eventually, in an open area ahead, the massive silhouette of a male lion appeared between the low bushes. Its dark mane shifted gently in the breeze as it walked across the dry grass. The tension instantly intensified. The Hadzabe hunters lowered themselves to the ground, quietly raised their bows, and positioned their arrows. Every eye was fixed on the target ahead. When the lion paused for a brief moment, an arrow suddenly flew through the air. The animal immediately roared and burst through the brush, beginning a tense pursuit across the vast Tanzanian savanna. But the challenge was far from over. On the way back, another danger suddenly emerged. From a thick wall of brush ahead, a massive rhinoceros stepped into view. Its enormous size and unpredictable nature demanded caution from everyone. The Hadzabe men did not panic. They stood still, watching and waiting. The rhino stared at us with clear suspicion. I could barely breathe. Time seemed to stretch endlessly until the animal finally turned around and slowly disappeared into the wilderness. Back at the camp, the familiar rhythm of daily life quickly resumed. Some people gathered firewood, children played around the fire, and elders shared old stories with the younger generation. Food was prepared and distributed according to traditions that have existed for generations. For the Hadzabe, sharing is just as important as finding food. That sense of community is what has allowed them to endure for so many centuries. As the sun rose higher over Tanzania, I began to understand the profound difference between modern life and the way the Hadzabe live. They do not try to conquer nature, they adapt to it. They take only what they truly need and never store more than necessary. Their way of life offers a powerful lesson: patience matters more than speed, sharing matters more than ownership, and harmony matters more than control. The Hadzabe do not simply live in nature, they are a part of it. And perhaps the greatest lesson they leave behind is this: survival is not about defeating nature, but about learning to listen to it and respect it.
On the African savanna, not every meal comes easily. Before fire, before meat was placed over glowing coals, humans had to live in a constant state of alertness against the most dangerous predators of this land. Mornings on the savanna begin with a familiar stillness. But for the Hadzabe people, that silence has never been random. As they move through low grass and dry, cracked ground, they observe the smallest signs. In this region, leopards rarely reveal themselves. Most of the time, they leave behind faint tracks in the sand, light drag marks on the ground, or an unexplainable feeling when the surrounding space suddenly becomes too quiet. For this predator, even the smallest sign is enough to reveal its presence. A leopard could be very close, even if no one sees it directly. They often remain hidden in dense bushes, behind low mounds, or beneath thick tree canopies, watching every movement from a safe distance. That is why every step is carefully considered. Eyes constantly scan blind spots, places where danger exists without any clear signal. Recognizing a leopard's presence is not about approaching, but about keeping distance. In such situations, the Hadzabe slow down, maintain a tight formation, and reduce noise. They understand that surprise is the leopard's greatest advantage, and caution is the most effective way to reduce risk. In some rare cases, When the signs become clearer and the distance is safe enough, they may track the leopard's direction. Not to chase, but to understand its patterns, how it chooses paths, where it rests, and when it moves. In these moments, hunting is not confrontation, but interpretation. One small mistake can instantly shift the balance. So they stop at the right moment, retreat before being detected, and maintain distance as a rule for survival. When everyone returns to camp, the tension gradually fades. Footsteps slow, voices soften, and the familiar rhythm of life begins to return. The camp is set up quietly, without noise. Everyone knows their role, because these tasks have been part of life for a long time. Some prepare ingredients, while others gather dry wood around the area. The fire is built slowly, starting with small sparks before spreading across the open ground. Thin smoke rises, blending into the dry air of the savanna. They cook without recipes or complex tools. Everything relies on experience, the way they feel the heat of the coals, the timing of turning the food, and patience. The food is placed over glowing embers, cooking gradually in silence. The aroma spreads slowly, drifting into the vast surrounding space. In the vast savanna, beside a small fire, cooking is not just about satisfying hunger. It is how the Hadzabe restore balance after a day of pressure. When the food is ready, everyone gathers around the fire. No one rushes. This moment is not just for eating, but for sharing time together. Food is distributed naturally, without calculation or competition. Each person takes their portion, eating slowly and quietly. Children sit near the adults, eating while observing. They learn how to watch, how to wait, and how to survive, lessons passed down through generations. The tension of the day fades away, replaced by a rare sense of peace. These are the moments that restore balance. A reminder that even in an environment full of uncertainty and hidden risks, humans can still find stability in the simplest things. Nothing here is extraordinary. It is simply how people survive, adapt, and rely on one another in a harsh natural world. These simple moments remind us that life is not only about finding food, but also about connection and sharing. If If this story brings you any feeling, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to follow more authentic journeys.
On the vast savanna near Lake Eyasi in Tanzania, the Hadzabe tribe begins a challenging day of hunting. Rather than targeting a single animal, they set their sights on several species today. Massive hippopotamuses in the waterholes, elephants moving in herds, and lions, the rulers of the savanna. Before dawn, the entire camp is already awake. The fire is dying down as the hunters inspect their bows, arrows, and small axes. Silence is a rule. Any unnecessary sound could alert the highly sensitive animals to their presence. The hunters split into small groups and move along narrow trails, winding through low acacia bushes. They pause frequently to observe the ground and read the signs. Footprints press into the mud, broken branches, and fresh streaks of wet earth all tell a story about the presence of hippos or elephants. Drawing on knowledge passed down through generations, they can distinguish the tracks of a hippo moving through water from those of a forest elephant crossing soft ground. Accurate identification helps them choose the best approach without being detected. As they near a small marsh, an unusual sound rises from the water. A large hippopotamus, its powerful muscles rippling beneath its skin, emerges to breathe. The hunting party remains concealed behind bushes along the bank, keeping a safe distance. Some hunters gently toss decoys to test the animal's reaction. The hippo appears curious but not alarmed. Working together, they position arrows fitted with lines and aim at strategic points. In an instant, they leap forward and release their shots with precision. The hippopotamus thrashes in the water, but eventually collapses onto the mud, its enormous body sinking amid the hunter's quiet celebration. Not long afterward, the group heads toward the grasslands where a herd of elephants has been moving. Massive footprints are clearly visible in the soft soil, revealing the herd's journey, including mature adults and young calves following behind. The Hadzabe choose a favorable position, avoiding direct intrusion, and instead waiting from a distance while observing every movement. When an adult elephant steps into an opening between the bushes, the bows and arrows are already prepared. Once again, patience and precise coordination bring results. An elephant is struck, and the group quickly moves in to complete the hunt using traditional methods, ensuring the safety of both the hunters and the remaining elephants. Their sense of victory remains incomplete as they continue toward lion territory. A pride of male and female lions appears, their strong bodies and alert eyes reflecting constant vigilance. The Hadzabe understand that lions are swift and intelligent predators that cannot be approached in the same manner as other animals. They watch from afar, read the wind, and move slowly through the bushes, attempting to get closer without being noticed. However, every effort proves futile. A single watchful glance and a powerful step are enough for the lions to detect the hunters. One lion releases a threatening roar, while the rest of the pride retreats into the shade, forcing the Hadzabe to stop their pursuit. Patience alone is sometimes not enough against an apex predator like the lion. They continue observing for a while before deciding to withdraw safely, recording the pride's behavior for future hunts. After successfully hunting a hippopotamus and an elephant, the group returns to camp with their game and a sense of pride. Along the way, they gather wild fruits and collect honey from small beehives hidden within hollow tree trunks. Every activity unfolds naturally, blending into the rhythm of daily life on the savannah. Upon returning, they rekindle the fire, prepare food, and share their experiences. Stories about the lion encounter are retold, not with regret, but as lessons for the younger generation on observation, patience, and respect for nature. The afternoon passes peacefully. Some hunters repair their bows and arrows, while others watch the birds and small animals nearby. They understand that a hunting day is not only about securing prey, but also about learning animal behavior, maintaining balance with nature, and refining essential survival skills. In Hadzabe culture, every hunt is a living lesson in patience, cooperation, and respect for all living creatures. Successfully hunting animals such as hippos and elephants provides food and tools for survival, while failing to overcome the lion serves as a reminder that nature often favors those that are strongest and most cunning. As the sun sets and golden light stretches across the savannah, the Hadzabe bring their long day to a close with gratitude, continuing to preserve their ancient traditions and adding another chapter to the enduring story of survival on this land.
In the dry lands surrounding Lake Iasi, water is the most valuable resource. When the dry season fast forwards, the remaining water holes become gathering pools. But these life-sustaining places are also the territory of dangerous predators. Along the muddy banks, crocodiles often lie motionless for hours, waiting for an opportunity. The Hadzabe understand this danger well and avoid direct confrontation, knowing that even a small mistake can have serious consequences. Even so, they must approach these water sources every day, where the line between safety and danger remains very thin. As the first rays of sunlight appear on the horizon, the Hadzabe hunters leave their camp, carrying their traditional handmade bows. Without maps or modern equipment, they rely on tracks in the soil, the direction of the wind, and knowledge passed down through generations. Along the way, they find antelope footprints, ground disturbed by aardvarks, and trails leading toward the lake. Every sign has the potential to lead to a new hunt. The hunters move forward in short, careful steps while constantly observing the terrain. When they locate an animal hidden among low bushes, the archers slowly spread out to gain better positions. The distance closes little by little. When the opportunity finally appears, the bows are drawn at the same time. Arrows fly forward and disappear into the dry grass. Not every hunt ends successfully, but patience has always been an essential part of their way of life. Once the hunt is over, there is no loud celebration. The animal is processed quickly at the site. Everyone joins in naturally, as if each person already knows exactly what to do. For the Hadzabe, hunting is not about proving individual strength. It is a shared responsibility that helps provide food for the entire community. The result, therefore, belongs to everyone, not to a single hunter. As the sun rises higher, the group gathers in a familiar clearing. There, the game is prepared for a meal that will feed the entire tribe. The Hadzabe do not hunt more than they truly need. They take only enough to sustain their way of life and continue into the following days. This approach has allowed them to live in balance with nature for a very long time. Food is never wasted, and every usable part of the animal is put to good use. Beyond their value as food, many animals are connected to traditional knowledge passed down through generations. Certain parts of an animal are described by elders as ingredients once used in traditional remedies. While these beliefs may differ from modern medicine, they reflect the deep connection between the community and the natural world. For the Hadzabe, hunting is not only about finding food, but also about preserving knowledge inherited from their ancestors.
Imepitaka siku nyingi.
AS food is shared among everyone in the camp. We realize that the most remarkable aspect of this community is not their hunting skill, but their spirit of sharing. There is no concept of excessive hoarding or keeping the best portions for oneself. Women, children, and even the dogs that accompany hunting trips all receive their share. These dogs are not simply pets. They play important roles in keeping watch, tracking animals, and assisting hunters in many different situations. This night falls over Lake Iasi. The Hadzabe hunters gather around the fire to eat and talk after a long day. During daylight hours, they follow animal tracks across vast stretches of wilderness. At night, they return to their community and continue a way of life that has endured through countless generations. Perhaps it is this strong sense of unity, combined with their hunting skills, that allows them to overcome the challenges of the wild. If you enjoyed learning about the Hadzabe people's journey of survival, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories about people and nature from around the world.
The coastline stretched out ahead, flat and so still that it was almost impossible to detect any movement. To them, an area that was too quiet usually meant something was being hidden. They did not move straight toward the water. No rushing, no unnecessary motion. The wind skimmed across the surface, creating steady ripples. But occasionally, a very small movement appeared, quick, fleeting, then gone. Not enough for most people to notice, but for them, it was a signal. The pace shifted instantly, faster, more decisive, yet still controlled. The distance closed within seconds. The approach was complete. The water lost its stillness. Ripples spread outward, disturbing the surface briefly before settling again. Within moments, everything returned to how it was: calm water, an almost unchanged shoreline. Without witnessing the entire sequence, it would be difficult to realize what had just happened. For crocodiles, this hunting method does not rely on speed or strength, but on patience and extremely precise observation. They can remain motionless for long periods, almost blending into the water, simply waiting for the right moment. Their eyes stay level with the surface, tracking even the smallest movements without being detected. When the moment arrives, they act in an instant, quick, clean, and leaving almost no trace. This level of control and perfect timing allows them to confront one of the most unpredictable targets in the natural environment. And sometimes, just a small mistake is enough to cause the entire plan to collapse. If you find this moment intense, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to follow more. Once they reach dry land, they begin processing right on the spot. There is no complicated preparation, everything is done directly and efficiently. Usable parts are separated quickly, while unnecessary portions are removed without hesitation. Every movement is precise and familiar. Clearly, this is not their first time doing it. No one needs to give instructions, yet everyone understands their role. The coordination happens naturally, forming a smooth and efficient process. After completing the basic preparation, they begin preparing the meal right there. A few dry branches are gathered and arranged into a small pile. The fire is started quickly, simple, yet steady enough to maintain heat. Once the fire stabilizes, the food is placed near the heat source. There are no tools, no complex techniques, just placing it directly over the fire or near the hot coals, adjusting the distance as needed. Everything is controlled through observation. The color changes, the surface transforms, and the aroma spreads into the air. When the heat weakens, they add more wood. There are no measurements, only experience guiding each action. When the food reaches the right level of doneness, they begin taking it off naturally, without any signal or fixed order. Whoever is closest takes first, then shares with those around them. The food does not stay in one place but moves continuously from hand to hand, creating a very natural rhythm. Portions are often broken into smaller pieces before eating, and almost always, a part is passed to someone else. No invitations, no requests, just a habit formed over time. For them, this is not a special moment that needs to be separated or emphasized. It is simply a familiar part of their way of life, happening at the right time, fully utilized, and ending as naturally as it began. When the water returns to its calm state, it seems as if nothing is left behind. But for the Hadzabe people, it represents a complete journey, from observation to action, and finally to a meal prepared on the spot. If you want to follow more stories like this, from crocodile hunting to encounters with even more dangerous animals. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.
Yeah.
As the first rays of sunlight appeared on the horizon, the African savanna and vast tropical forests slowly awakened after a long night. Soft golden light spread across tall grasslands and distant tree canopies. In the tribal settlement, the men began preparing for the day's hunt. They checked their bows, bindings, and essential equipment before setting out. Near the forest edge, a jaguar moved slowly through low bushes after a night of activity. Meanwhile, the tribesmen continued completing their preparations. The jaguar paused beside a large tree to mark its territory before moving deeper into the forest. After completing their preparations, the tribal group left the settlement and entered the tropical forest ahead. They maintained reasonable spacing so they could observe different directions while moving. The men at the front constantly watched the bushes and dense vegetation along the route. Deeper in the forest, the jaguar continued moving silently beneath the thick canopy. Several small animals quickly left the area after sensing the predator's presence. For a brief moment, the forest seemed unusually quiet. The tribal group continued deeper while carefully observing the open spaces ahead. Their search for the jaguar continued through the vast rainforest. Not long afterward, the tribal hunters discovered that the jaguar was active nearby. The animal lay low among the bushes, while quietly observing the area ahead. From a distance, another animal entered its field of view. The jaguar slowly advanced step by step, creating almost no sound. The atmosphere around the area became tense as a hunt was about to unfold. In a sudden instant, the jaguar burst from its hiding place and chased its target. Rapid movements flashed through the dense vegetation.
Yeah.
The tribal hunters kept a safe distance and continued watching. After the brief hunt, the jaguar's location became clearer, allowing them to continue tracking it. The tribal group began following the jaguar's fresh tracks through the dense forest. The animal moved continuously through low bushes and vine-covered areas. It changed directions several times, making the pursuit more difficult. On the damp ground, fresh footprints continued to appear, showing that the distance between hunters and predator was gradually decreasing. Occasionally, the jaguar silhouette appeared between the leaves before disappearing again. Soon afterward, the animal suddenly emerged in an open area. Realizing the danger, it turned and ran through a patch of low vegetation. When the distance became close enough, arrows were used. The jaguar ran a short distance before slowing down and eventually being subdued. After the hunt ended, the tribal group continued searching for food in the forest. Some members discovered an area rich in edible roots beneath soft soil. Using simple tools, they dug large roots from the ground. The gathered food was quickly bundled together for easier transport. Continuing their journey, the group found a beehive attached to a large tree. Smoke was produced to drive the bees away for a short period. The honey was then carefully collected using containers they had brought with them. The group obtained both forest roots and honey before leaving the area. As the sun began to descend toward the edge of the forest, the tribal group returned to their familiar settlement. Bundles of roots, honey, and food gathered during the journey were carried back together. Everyone quickly collected dry firewood around the old cooking area. Before long, a fire was lit in the middle of the clearing. Some people prepared food, while others fetched water and organized resting places. Smoke from the campfire drifted slowly above the treetops. Once the preparations were complete, everyone gathered around the fire to eat and rest after the long journey through the forest. The sun gradually disappeared beyond the distant horizon. The final light of the day spread across the forest and the open spaces surrounding the settlement. The campfire continued burning steadily while the surroundings became quieter. Nature brought another long day to a close, ending the hunting and food gathering activities that had taken place throughout the vast tropical forest.
The sun rose early today, casting long rays of light across the vast and quiet landscape of northern Tanzania. In this dry region of East Africa, the Hadzabe people continue to live much as their ancestors did for countless generations. Their way of life revolves around hunting and gathering, without electricity or running water, while much of the modern world is shaped by technology, urbanization, and constant change. They are among the last communities on Earth to preserve this ancient rhythm of life, where survival is simply part of everyday existence. In the stillness of the morning, carrying handmade bows and arrows and relying on knowledge passed down through generations, the hunters carefully inspect their weapons before heading into the wilderness in search of food. The hunt begins. They move across rocky hillsides, weave through sparse woodlands, and follow their hunting dogs. No one speaks loudly. No one gives orders. Everything unfolds naturally, like an instinct embedded deep within them through centuries of tradition. Their pace slows as they move with purpose and precision. They stop at the faint rustle of leaves, kneel to examine fresh tracks pressed into the dry earth, and quietly assess the direction of the wind. Suddenly, one hunter drops to a crouch. The signs suggest that an animal passed through only moments ago. No words are exchanged. Then, in a brief instant, an arrow is released, slicing through the silence. The first wild boar collapses immediately. Before another can react, a second falls just moments later. Everything happens so quickly that even the sounds seem swallowed by the landscape. The hunters approach, collect the results of their efforts, and safely begin the journey back with food for the group. Following a narrow trail toward the edge of the forest, the atmosphere grows noticeably tense. Without warning, a large antelope appears. Its coat blends almost perfectly with the earth and surrounding brush.
Through the dense thickets, the faint...
Completely unaware of the hunters nearby, it continues moving calmly. Instantly, the group stops. Every movement becomes nearly silent. Quick glances are exchanged as they evaluate the wind and the animal's position. Within seconds, an arrow flies true, bringing the hunt to a successful end. The antelope, unaware of the danger, becomes the next source of food and a welcome reward for the hunting party. After returning from the hunt, the group quickly prepares a meal. The animals harvested that day are processed and divided into portions so that everyone receives a share, a practice that has existed for generations. The meal takes place in a warm and communal setting, with people sitting together and sharing food. This tradition of sharing is far more than a simple gesture. It is a foundation of their society. It ensures that no one goes hungry, and it is this sense of unity that has allowed them to thrive for so long across the vast African savanna. For the Hadzabe people, life is not about owning the most, but about understanding what is enough. They possess few material belongings, store little beyond immediate needs, and rarely plan far into the future. They take from nature only what they truly need and freely share what they have. In their world, there is little room for pride or individual competition. Everything is centered on the well-being of the community. Each person depends on others, and together they face the challenges of life. Today's hunt was not a once-in-a-lifetime triumph. It was simply an ordinary glimpse into a way of life shaped by thousands of years of survival in a demanding natural environment. That simplicity, though seemingly modest, carries a quiet strength and wisdom. Perhaps the most valuable lesson the Hadza offer is not their remarkable survival skills, but their perspective on life. Knowing when enough is enough, remaining humble before nature, and sharing so that no one is left behind.
In 2026, while the world runs on tight schedules and artificial intelligence, at Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe tribe still ventures into the forest empty-handed. There are no backup plans, no second chances, and no help from technology. They wake up and survive in their own way, as they have for thousands of years, walking barefoot on the earth. Let's step into this unexpected encounter, where instinct and experience are the only guides. Following nature's trails, the hunters hear a bird leading them straight to a large tree filled with wild honey. They harvest and eat immediately, taking in crucial energy for the long hunting journey ahead. At the same time, this is how they stay in rhythm with the natural world. Before moving on, the Hadzabe prepare their hunting tools, handcrafted wooden arrows coated with sap from the desert rose to form a lethal toxin. Bows made from wild animal sinew are checked carefully to ensure the tension is strong enough to pierce the thick hides of buffalo and other large animals. Every step is carefully calculated, as their tools are what determine the success of the hunt. The Hadzabe read every sign on the ground: faint footprints, wet mud, wind direction, or even the condition of animal droppings. All of it reveals the location and behavior of their target. Following the trail, they spot a wild buffalo resting in a nearby clearing. They do not attack immediately, but patiently watch the wind to avoid detection. When the distance is right, a poisoned arrow is released. The buffalo runs for a short distance before slowing down as the poison takes effect. After taking down the first buffalo, the Hadzabe continue tracking and spot another herd moving nearby. They split into smaller groups, approaching each animal silently, striking the largest first, and ready to pursue if necessary. Thanks to their teamwork, every buffalo is brought down safely, avoiding disruption of the herd and unnecessary risk. Not only do the Hadzabe hunt buffalo, but they also pay close attention to other animals in the area, especially crocodiles along the lakeshore. They follow each muddy track and wet footprint, observing how the crocodiles move and choosing the perfect moment to strike. When a crocodile surfaces to sun itself on the bank, the hunters take careful aim from their hiding spots, hitting vital areas with poisoned arrows. The crocodile retreats to the water, its mobility reduced, and the Hadzabe patiently wait, approaching when the animal is weakened. This hunting method relies more on biological knowledge, patience, and teamwork than on brute strength. Once all targets are down, the Hadzabe begin processing the meat. Buffalo and crocodile are divided fairly among all members according to established customs. No one is prioritized, whether they made the kill or are the leader. From elders and women to young children, everyone receives their share. They cook directly over hot embers, using even the bones and nutrient-rich parts of the crocodile to avoid wasting any natural resources. When eating, the Hadzabe focus not only on nourishment but also on community. Everyone gathers around the fire, sharing food and stories, teaching children survival skills, how to read animal tracks, and how to understand the wind. This absolute fairness in sharing sustains their social cohesion, allowing the tribe to survive thousands of years without internal conflict. The Hadzabe's hunting and eating practices are not just acts of survival, they are lessons in patience, teamwork, understanding nature, and respect for all living things. They take only what they need, never greedy, and always maintain ecological balance. Their minimalist lifestyle, community spirit, and survival skills offer invaluable lessons we can learn from the Hadzabe tribe.